So we have an eclipse on March 3rd, a full lunar eclipse with K2, and today I'm going to discuss what that means individually and on a collective level. My name is Dr. Chanel Trail, and I talk about the esoteric aspects of ourselves in reality on this channel. This is a full lunar eclipse at 12 degrees Virgo in Purva Palguni Nakshatra, and it's conjunct K2, which means that we're letting go of karma during this eclipse. This full lunar eclipse will be seen in many populated areas, especially Western North America, all the way to Central North America, the western parts of South America, all of the Pacific and East Asia, and also Eastern Australia. And there's also a lot going on in Pisces, which is across from this eclipse, and there's going to be quite a few different planets there. There's going to be Sun, there's going to be Mercury, Venus, Mars, also the North Node. Additionally, we also still have the Saturn-Neptune conjunction at 0 degrees Aries, the world point, the Aries point, and that is still bringing this kind of disillusionment to the collective, and also this kind of dreamy, is this really real? Are we living, or is this just a dream? So starting with the personal level. So this type of eclipse, a lunar eclipse, a full lunar eclipse, conjunct K2, is going to be about karmic endings. And one of the things that I see is, since it's in Virgo, there's going to be some type of completion or some type of letting go of holding on tight. And we might be previously trying to artificially control an aspect of our life. And this is a time of surrender and letting go of that self-criticism, perfectionism, or this tendency to hold on tight to something that we should be letting go. Virgo tends to be very perfectionist. It can be very controlling, and we're going to be letting go of some of that and moving towards this Pisces energy. Like I said, there's a lot of planets in Pisces, so more towards self-compassion, self-love. And if you're not naturally feeling some burden being lifted off and feeling this self-love and compassion, then I would say maybe let go a bit more and lean into that self-love and compassion, because that's really important right now, because a lot is coming up, which I will discuss in a minute. Especially with the Venus in Pisces. Venus is exalted in Pisces, and she loves Pisces, and this is really about self-love and healing and moving towards that. And that would be the ideal way to approach a lot of the kind of heavy emotional baggage that we might be feeling right now. And this is always dependent, again, on what is going on with your particular chart. But people that will especially feel this lunar eclipse will be anyone with anything in Pisces and Virgo, especially the middle of Virgo, and also the beginning of Aries or the beginning of Libra, are especially going to feel these effects from the eclipse. What is going on also, and what I also feel personally and intuitively, is with all this Pisces energy and also the Neptune-Saturn conjunction at that world point, it's almost like the permeability between the unconscious and the conscious is very porous right now. So a lot of people may be feeling some of their shadow coming up, some of their aspects of their unconscious, but also that could mean we could be very intuitive right now. We could also be very imaginative right now. So a lot of our unconscious is just being very porous and coming to the surface right now, whether that is kind of the darker aspects or the lighter aspects. We might rethink our approach to health as a collective and even on an individual level, and also our daily routines and our habits. Like I said, this is a lot of letting go of karma in some way. Like we have some pattern, some habit we want to let go of. We might see that there's an opportunity to let go of those habits and patterns that we've been wanting to let go, or at least it's coming to the surface to be addressed. Like I said, the shadow aspect of ourselves are coming up right now. And for people that have health issues, you might feel some health issues. You might have some realization of how to heal some health issues in some way. You might feel some detoxification, some symptoms, and this is whatever's underneath, like I said, the shadow part coming to the surface again to be seen, those shadow aspects to be seen. because the source of sickness is some imbalance in the body, some usually emotional and energetic imbalance, and that is coming up to be seen. And sometimes symptoms and detoxification are the effects of that. We may need to let go of our old daily routines, our old habits, our old ways of eating, our diets, or living our life on a daily basis to make room for something new. And that's kind of what this lunar eclipse is about, getting rid of some of the old to make room for something new that's to come. Virgo is connected to refinement and purification and health. And this is an opportunity to purify ourselves in some way, which is naturally happening. The energy is bringing that, but to kind of lean into that so we can make room for new consciousness and new energy to come in. And this is why on the other side of the axis of Virgo, we have Pisces, which is connected to spirituality and connecting to the source, to the divine, to God. And usually two sides of the axes are connected to each other, and they both feed into each other. The purification and the health of Virgo and being able to face illness and imbalance is connected to our ability to reach higher spiritual states of consciousness. So in general, there's some completion of some karmic issue that we've been dealing with in some way or another. And we're being asked, what can I let go? How can I surrender more and let go of something I'm very attached to and holding on to? How can I let more of that go right now? How can we let go of something that we know is kind of rotting in ourselves? It's old, so we can bring in the new. And how can we love ourselves more? How can we bring ourselves more self-love and self-acceptance during this time, whenever we're able to perceive and see our shadow a bit more? And sometimes that can be a little bit scary. How can we sit there and accept that and accept ourselves? So now we can look at the collective or the mundane side of this lunar eclipse. So on the collective level, we're also having this purging and purification that's also happening. With these set of eclipses that are happening, the one that just happened on February 17th and the one that's going to happen on March 3rd, there has been this theme of downfall of leaders that has happened, which is a common theme historically, actually, during certain times, but that's really being emphasized during this set of eclipses right now. And that will continue to happen because that seems to be a theme for this set of eclipses. And the last solar eclipse really initiated all of this, with the solar eclipse being square Uranus on Algol. And Algol is connected to heads rolling. It's connected to the myth of Medusa having her head cut off. So this is connected to this energy of falling from grace in some way, leaders falling from grace, and this revolutionary energy of the masses being able to see and witness and becoming very upset about that situation. Eclipses historically have also been connected to exposure of corruption, which is also a very strong theme for these current set of eclipses and this lunar eclipse. There might be a bit more of a focus on celebrities or just public image of people in general, because this lunar eclipse is in Purva Palguni Nakshatra, and Purva Palguni Nakshatra is very connected to Los Angeles and Hollywood, and I believe it's either the moon or the ascendant or the sun of the founding of the city of Los Angeles is in Purva Palguni, and it's connected to creativity and the arts and confident performing and things like that. And so this eclipse is connected to that. So there might be celebrities, or it could be just this this fall from grace from public image, because Purva Palguni can be connected to performance and public image. So a kind of disillusionment in those particular areas. There may be rethinking of systems like government systems or business systems, because Virgo is connected to systems, the intricacy of systems. Virgo is also connected to service industries and labor, and there may be something related to that in the connection with AI that is coming in, and there might be letting go of labor in some way and the restructuring of systems that might come from this lunar eclipse. So eclipses tend to have effect of a few weeks to a few months, and sometimes you feel the effects in during the whole 6 months of the eclipse season until the new eclipse season. So this might be when there might be, I mean, it's probably already happening to some extent, that we have this increase of unemployment because of these change in systems and AI replacing some people's jobs. That might start to increase these next few weeks or months after this lunar eclipse. There might be some rethinking of our health systems, or there might be some exposure of corruption related to our health systems. And I think that there might be this move, which is already happening, but that might increase after these set of eclipses, this movement towards holistic health, which is connected more to Pisces. So we're moving away, we're letting go of something in Virgo, which is more our traditional allopathic medicine that we've had for a long time, and gaining more understanding of and following and practicing holistic health systems. In terms of potential natural disasters that might happen during this time period, during this eclipse period in general, and this Saturn Neptune conjunction with the harmonic triangle that I've talked about before, there is a lot of water because we got that Neptune at the world point. So we have this increase of water on a world level, which we've seen, and we're going to continue to see for a little bit of time here. This increase of blizzards, snowfall, rainfall, flooding, and different weather phenomena connected to water. We can also have tsunamis, earthquakes is another option with what is going on right now. A lot of rumbling under the earth could happen in some way. We started to have and move towards the Saturn Neptune conjunction last year during the summer, and then they both retrograded, and now they've come back together, and they're actually making the conjunction for the last time currently right now. And so since last year, there's been an increase in flooding in general. If we're looking at Europe, Asia, North America, there's been an increase in flooding, and also just an increase in rainfall in general in places that normally get less rainfall. So it'd be actually pretty good for these areas. And now this winter, we've had many areas with large amounts of snowfall, some blizzards, but also just more snow than what the area typically gets. And there's some areas in North America that's getting a lot more snow than normal this year. And then also areas of Northern Europe that are getting a lot more snow than typical. So this is because we have Neptune at the world point, which represents water, large amounts of water. So this is happening on a world level, that there's a lot more water than normal. And we also have a lot of planets in Pisces right now, more than normal. And what is also adding to this is we also have a dwarf planet, Gong, which is the Chinese god of water and flooding. And this is adding to the effect of the water and flooding. The Gong dwarf planet is on the north node, which is also in Pisces. And then you also have Neptune not too far away on the world point in Aries, and all these planets in Pisces. So there's just a lot of water. Gong is also connected to the flood myths of this. There's this imbalance in the world, and water has to come in and create this kind of chaos to reflect the imbalance, to create, again, balance in the world, and to destroy what is imbalanced to create what is balanced. And a lot of the flood myths throughout history represent this, and Gong is one of those deities that represents this type of force of water that comes in and destroys things that are imbalanced. So I almost see this input of water energy as just this flooding of our unconscious into our conscious. Of this can be symbolic, and it's also literal with the water that is coming down in these increase of natural disasters and rain and snowfall. This increase of the water element is coming in and kind of washing away our shadow, or what doesn't serve us anymore during this lunar eclipse and just during this time period in general. And it's washing it away just like the flood, and Mother Earth is just reflecting that through bringing the rain down and washing away what is not needed. And what is happening in the natural world usually reflects what is happening in the internal world. So as I was saying, there's this permeability and fluidity that is going on with our emotions and the unconscious and the conscious, and everything is just kind of blending together and the limitations are coming down. So the good part of this is we have more possibilities, or we're open to more possibilities, or we can see possibilities more. It's also a time for that. It's not just a time to face our shadow, it's also a time to open up to the possibilities that are presented, because the limitations are coming down in some way energetically. So this is a good time to imagine and to envision what we individually want in the world, and also what we collectively want in the world, to imagine and dream what we actually want and also take action on it. But this energy that we have right now is about tapping into those possibilities and anchoring them into the world in some way. So that is it for looking at this lunar eclipse, and also a little bit the two sets of eclipses that have happened, the February 17th, and also mostly focusing this video on the lunar eclipse on March 3rd. So if you're interested in getting an astrological reading from me, you can look at the link below in the description for my website, or you can look at the YouTube channel description and you can find my website. I also have other services that I offer that you can check out. And if you like this kind of content about astrology, esoteric topics, civilization, and also art, then you can subscribe to this channel and like this video. And thank you for being here, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.